Cantwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, there's a lot going on today in Asia, and it appears, though, that there was no progress on getting new market access for tree fruit, apples, cherries, and no movement in getting U.S. fresh potatoes into Japan. I think President Trump finalized a framework deal, but I think some good news maybe on shipbuilding, but no word on market access for those products. So what can we do to eliminate these tariffs, and what do you know about this particular leaving out of this important product?
Thank you, Senator Cantwell. The issue of potato access into Japan is one that I'm very personally familiar with, and it's an issue that I am committed to resolving with Japan. Japan's unjustified non-tariff barriers that are preventing fresh potatoes to enter their market need to be removed.
And I'm also talking about apples and cherries, so.
Apples likewise. The specialty producers, I have very close connections with specialty producers, cherries, apples, and others, and I'm committed to opening market access for those products as well.
When? Do you have a time frame, Dr. Callahan?
I will certainly be engaging with my Japanese counterparts to make sure they move forward with eliminating these
well, we know these are very popular
non-tariff
products with this country, for sure. And so this is about us, trade agreements that, or deals that basically aren't meeting agriculture need, particularly for the Pacific Northwest when it comes to potatoes. So clearly want to see that dealt with. Mr. Gottman, the shipping industry, very important to the Northwest. One estimate found that fees will come out to about $1.6 million per voyage for Chinese operators like Costco. In response, China started charging U.S. shipping for docking at Chinese ports. I'm concerned that one unintended consequence of those fees is that this will exacerbate Northwest issues related to U.S. ports. Particularly, these vessels will instead call on ports in Vancouver or Prince Rupert. And what will you commit to doing at USTR that will to lessen these fees and protect U.S. ports?
Thank you for that question, Senator. We are looking to ensure that American jobs at American ports will continue to be robust and growing opportunities, and that we will not be losing market share in our Northwestern ports to Canadian ports. As we work through this, there are several items that are important to consider with that in terms of the harbor maintenance tax, as well as the vessels taxes that you've mentioned. And our goal is to make sure that we play on a level playing field here in our Northwestern ports compared to Canada.
Well, we need an aggressive approach here. So I look forward to hearing more details on how you plan to accomplish that. Mr. Bell, if I could, obviously we're having a big debate here about how to deliver affordable care and make sure that we keep a very low percentage of Americans who don't have insurance and therefore then have uncompensated care, which then ends up raising all our prices. Do you agree that we should, maybe you've had this question, I'm getting here a little late. Have you asked this question about extending the expiring premium tax credits? So do you agree that we should extend or some version of that to cover Americans and lower the cost of uncompensated care? And as an Inspector General, would you be responsible in seeking out waste? Do you believe that the budget reconciliation bill, which increases uncompensated care and the federal deficit, is a good example of that?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. Senator, I am before you to be Inspector General of HHS, and I know there's a lot of policy discussions going on extending credits for Obamacare. What I can promise you is that I will do examinations, evaluations, inspections, investigations, and audits to make sure that the programs that Congress passes are running as efficiently as possible without waste, fraud, and abuse.
How are you defining, well, my time has expired. I'll send you a question for the record, but I think this issue is that there are ways to lower the cost of healthcare, and we should all have a goal. I haven't heard that goal being committed to, but we should have a goal of having the lowest amount of uncompensated care in the United States. Because if you have that goal, then we're not going to be raising prices on everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.